Have you ever wondered why Brazil is so diverse and culturally rich? This question is more than a mere curiosity. It's a journey into the heart of one of the world's most vibrant nations. Welcome, dear listeners, to Brazil, a country that spans nearly half of South America, with a population exceeding 200 million people. Brazil is the fifth largest country in the world, both in terms of area and population. It stretches from the Amazon basin in the north, home to the world's largest rainforest, to the grasslands of the Pampas in the south. But what makes Brazil truly unique is its cultural diversity. Brazil's culture is like a vivid tapestry, woven from the threads of three distinct influences: native, African, and European. The indigenous peoples of Brazil were the original weavers of this tapestry, with their rich traditions, languages, and customs. They were the first to shape the cultural landscape of Brazil, long before the arrival of the Europeans. Next came the Portuguese, who arrived in the 16th century. They brought with them their language, religion, and customs, which have since become integral parts of Brazilian culture. Portuguese is now the official language of Brazil, and Catholicism is the predominant religion. The African influence in Brazil, resulting from the transatlantic slave trade, is most evident in the country's music, dance, and cuisine. The rhythms of samba and the flavors of feijoada, a traditional black bean stew with pork, are testaments to the enduring influence of African culture in Brazil. These three cultural strands, native, African, and European, have intertwined over the centuries, creating a unique blend that is distinctly Brazilian. This blend is evident in every facet of Brazilian life, from its music and dance to its food and festivals. So when you think of Brazil, think beyond its breathtaking landscapes and iconic landmarks. Think of its cultural diversity, a living testament to its rich and complex history. The history of Brazil is a fascinating tapestry of diverse cultures, each leaving an indelible mark on this vibrant nation. Long before the arrival of Europeans, Brazil was home to a multitude of indigenous tribes. These tribes, each with its own unique culture, were the original inhabitants of this vast land, living harmoniously with nature. Among these tribes, the Tupi and the Guarani were the most prominent. The Tupi, known for their elaborate feathered headdresses and body paintings, lived along the coastline. They were skilled fishermen and made great strides in agriculture, cultivating manioc, a staple in their diet, and a crop that continues to sustain millions of Brazilians today. In the verdant interior, the Guarani people thrived. They were exceptional hunters and gatherers, navigating the dense forests with ease. Their deep spiritual connection with the land and the cosmos influenced their way of life, from their rituals to their artistry. These indigenous tribes had a profound impact on Brazil's early history. Their knowledge of the land, its flora and fauna, its rivers and mountains, shaped the development of the country. They taught the early settlers how to cultivate the land and survive in the tropical climate. Moreover, their influence permeates Brazil's language and traditions. Many Portuguese words used in Brazil today, such as abacaxi for pineapple and piranha for the notorious freshwater fish, are derived from indigenous languages. The vibrant festivals of Brazil, known for their exuberant dances and colorful costumes, owe much to indigenous rituals. The indigenous tribes also left an indelible mark on Brazilian cuisine. From the staple manioc flour to exotic fruits like acai, their contributions are celebrated in kitchens across the country. They introduced the world to the delights of Brazil nuts and the healing properties of pau d'arco, a medicinal tree bark. These indigenous tribes were not just inhabitants of Brazil, they were its custodians, living in harmony with the environment and preserving its biodiversity for future generations. Their wisdom, their resilience, their way of life continue to inspire and influence Brazil today. These indigenous tribes laid the foundation of Brazil, shaping its identity and cultural heritage. Their spirit lives on, in the heart of the Amazon, in the rhythm of the samba, in the flavors of Brazilian cuisine, and in the soul of its people. The year 1500 marked a pivotal turning point in Brazil's history. This was the year when the Portuguese explorer, Pedro Álvares Cabral, set foot on what is now known as Brazil. With his arrival, the age of discovery truly began for this part of the world. Cabral and his crew were on a mission to India, but a turn of fate led them to this uncharted land. They were greeted by the indigenous people with curiosity and caution. The Portuguese, on the other hand, saw the vast potential of this new land, abundant with natural resources and a welcoming climate. With Cabral's return to Portugal, he brought tales of this newfound territory. Intrigued, the Portuguese monarchy started sending expeditions to colonize and exploit the land. This marked the beginning of the Portuguese colonization of Brazil, a period that would last for more than 300 years. The Portuguese brought with them their language, culture, and religion. The indigenous people of Brazil, with their own rich and diverse cultures, were gradually influenced by these newcomers. The Portuguese language, with its melodic rhythms and rich vocabulary, took root and flourished, becoming the lingua franca of the land. Today, Brazil is the largest Portuguese-speaking nation in the world. The Portuguese also introduced Catholicism to the indigenous people. Despite initial resistance, the religion gradually gained acceptance. Today, Brazil is home to the world's largest Catholic population, a testament to the enduring influence of Portuguese colonization. The Portuguese culture, too, left its mark. From architecture to cuisine, music to dance, the Portuguese influence is evident. The iconic feijoada, a black bean stew with pork, is a delicious example of this cultural blend. Samba, a dance form with African roots, was shaped by Portuguese music and has become a symbol of Brazilian identity. Yet, this was not a peaceful integration. The colonization was marked by conflict and struggle, a story of conquest and resistance. The indigenous people fought to preserve their way of life, while the Portuguese sought to impose their own. The Portuguese colonization left a profound impact, transforming Brazil into a unique blend of cultures. The age of discovery may have ended, but its effects are still evident in the vibrant and diverse Brazil we know today. Brazil's history carries a dark shadow, the horrific era of slavery. A grim period that began in the 16th century when the Portuguese explorers, in their quest for wealth and resources, introduced African slaves to Brazil. The African people, ripped from their homelands, were forced to embark on a treacherous journey across the Atlantic, a voyage marked by death, disease, and despair. Upon arrival in Brazil, they were subjected to brutal conditions. Their lives were no longer their own. They were treated as chattel, forced into labor in sugar plantations, gold mines, and later, coffee farms. Their days were marked by grueling work, harsh punishments, and an unending struggle for survival. These were the conditions that millions of African people had to endure for more than 3 centuries. Yet, in the face of such adversity, the African people held on to their roots, their culture, and their spirit. They brought with them an intangible wealth, a rich cultural heritage that would seep into the very fabric of Brazilian society. Take a moment to imagine the vibrant beats of samba, the rhythmic dance that pulses through the streets of Brazil during Carnival. This lively music and dance form has its roots in the African dance traditions brought over by the slaves. Or consider the tantalizing flavors of Brazilian cuisine, marked by the bold African influences in dishes like vatapá, acarajé, and feijoada. The African influence extends beyond music and cuisine. It is present in the religious practices like candomblé and umbanda, in the martial arts form of capoeira, and in the vibrant festivals and celebrations. The African people, through their resilience and spirit, have left an indelible mark on Brazilian culture. Despite the horrors of slavery, the African influence is deeply ingrained in Brazil's vibrant culture. In the face of unspeakable hardship, the African people have not only endured, but have also shaped and enriched the cultural landscape of Brazil. Their legacy is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a reminder of the dark shadow that continues to linger over Brazil's past. The year 1822 marked a significant milestone in Brazil's history, its independence. This was not a sudden, spontaneous event, but the culmination of a series of significant happenings that had been brewing for years. The seeds of independence were sown during the early 19th century when the Portuguese royal family, under threat from Napoleon's forces, relocated to Brazil. This unexpected move elevated Brazil from a mere colony to the center of the Portuguese Empire. The key figure in Brazil's journey to independence was Dom Pedro I, the son of the Portuguese king. He was charismatic, strong-willed, and possessed a deep love for Brazil. When his father decided to return to Portugal, he left Dom Pedro I in charge, a decision that would prove pivotal in the years to come. In 1822, faced with demands from the Portuguese court to return to Portugal, Dom Pedro I made a bold decision. In a passionate display of defiance, he declared, "I am staying." This marked the beginning of Brazil's journey to independence. This event, known as Dia do Fico, or I Am Staying Day, is celebrated in Brazil even today. Dom Pedro I's leadership played a crucial role in the peaceful transition to independence. Unlike many other Latin American countries that went through bloody revolutions, Brazil's transition was relatively peaceful. On September 7, 1822, Dom Pedro first officially declared Brazil's independence from Portugal along the banks of the Ipiranga River, with the famous cry of "Independence or Death." This momentous event marked the end of 322 years of Portuguese rule and the beginning of a new era for Brazil. The country was no longer a colony, but a nation in its own right. However, independence was not just a political change, it marked a shift in consciousness, a newfound sense of identity and pride among the Brazilian people. With independence, Brazil embarked on a new chapter, shaping its own destiny. It was now free to chart its own course, to build a nation that reflected its unique culture, history, and aspirations. And so, the road to independence was not just a journey of political emancipation, but a journey of self-discovery and nation-building. From its indigenous roots to modern times, Brazil's journey has been anything but ordinary. A land of contrasts and paradoxes, Brazil has grown into an undeniable global powerhouse. Its path to progress, however, has been fraught with challenges and victories alike, like the many vibrant hues of its lush rainforests. Today, Brazil is the fifth largest country in the world, both in terms of land area and population. Its economy, the ninth largest globally, is driven by sectors as diverse as agriculture, mining, manufacturing, and services. The country is a leading global exporter of commodities such as soy, coffee, sugar, and beef, and boasts of a dynamic and thriving industrial sector. Yet it's not just the scale of Brazil's economy that's impressive. The country has also made significant strides in social development. Despite grappling with issues of poverty and inequality, Brazil has made laudable efforts to improve education, healthcare, and social welfare for its citizens. But Brazil's true wealth lies in its rich culture and breathtaking natural beauty. From the rhythm of samba and the passion of football, to the awe-inspiring Amazon rainforest and the stunning beaches of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil is a feast for the senses. The vibrant cities, brimming with architectural marvels and a pulsating nightlife, offer a stark contrast to the serene beauty of its vast landscapes. In the heart of this South American giant, you'll find a melting pot of cultures. Indigenous traditions blend seamlessly with influences from Portuguese colonists, African slaves, and immigrants from Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. This rich cultural tapestry is reflected in Brazil's music, cuisine, dance, and festivals, making it one of the most culturally diverse nations on Earth. Despite its challenges, Brazil continues to evolve, displaying an indomitable spirit that mirrors the resilience and vibrancy of its people. It's a country that has learned to dance in the rain while it waits for the sunshine, a country that embraces its past while striding confidently into the future. Today, Brazil stands as a testament to its rich history and diverse culture, a beacon of resilience and vibrancy. So what makes Brazil a cultural melting pot? Well, it's a vibrant blend of cultures, a tapestry of traditions woven over centuries. Every facet of Brazilian life is a testament to the diversity that defines its identity. Starting with the indigenous roots, the native tribes of Brazil were the original custodians of this vast land. Their rich traditions, spiritual beliefs, and unique ways of living have left an indelible mark on the Brazilian culture. Their influence is seen in local cuisines, folkloric traditions, and even the Portuguese language spoken in Brazil today, which contains numerous indigenous words. Then came the Age of Discovery, when Portuguese explorers set foot on Brazilian soil. This marked the start of a profound cultural exchange. The Portuguese didn't just bring their language, they brought their customs, their religion, and their architectural styles. Even today, the influence of Portuguese culture is evident in every corner of Brazil, from the iconic colonial-era buildings to the widespread practice of Catholicism. But Portuguese influence wasn't the only foreign touch to shape Brazil. The dark shadow of slavery brought Africans to Brazil, but with them came a rich cultural heritage. African influence is deeply embedded in Brazil's soul, visible in its music, dance, and cuisine. Samba rhythms, feijoada dishes, and capoeira martial arts all bear the unmistakable imprint of Africa. The road to independence was a struggle that shaped modern Brazil. It sparked a sense of national identity and a pride in being Brazilian. This sense of identity continues to influence Brazilian culture today, from its vibrant art scene to its passionate football culture. Modern Brazil is a reflection of all these influences combined. It's a country where the old and the new coexist, where indigenous rituals are as much a part of the cultural fabric as cutting-edge art and technology. Brazil's rich history and cultural diversity make it a truly unique destination, a cultural melting pot that continues to captivate the world.